Hey everybody. Alright, we're going to continue where we left off with assignment 4. That was the one, it actually says assignment 4 on top, but it looks like this. It's got the points on it, and we're going to find the midpoint and the distance formula. So we're going to start at number 6. Our point is 6, so we got points 6, 2, and 3, 0. So I'll start with the midpoint. I already have my midpoint and distance formula over here. So I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. And start out with my formula here. So I want my x1 plus my x2. That's 6 plus 3 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2, 2 plus 0 divided by 2. I do my math. I have 6 plus 3 over 2, which is 9 over 2. 2 plus 0 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So you can leave it like that, or you can write 4.5, comma, 1. Okay? Like that. So you can write either one. I don't care as long as it's right. Alright, so now we're going to go on to the distance formula for this one. So right over here, here's my distance formula. Remember, I have the square root. And it's x2 minus x1, so it's 3 minus 6, quantity squared, plus 0 minus 2, quantity squared. This is negative 3 squared, under my square root sign still, plus negative 2 squared. Remember, negative times a negative is always a positive. So I've got the square root of 9 plus 4 gives me the square root of 13. 13 is a prime number. That's my final answer. That is the distance from this point to this point. Hair is still everywhere. Okay. Number 7 is going to be 11, 2, and 1, 3. I'm going to go into my midpoint formula. x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember, it goes xy every single time. Always x on the left, always y on the right. This is my first point right here, so I'm labeling this one x1, y1. Alright, so starting it out, x1 plus x2 is 11 plus 1 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 is 2 plus 3 divided by 2, parentheses. 11 plus 1 is 12 over 2. 2 plus 3 is 5 over 2. So this will be 6 and 5 over 2, or 6 and 2.5. Hold on a second. Okay. TV was a little loud. I don't like it. Alright, so there's our midpoint for number 7. Now we'll go into the distance formula right here. So we've got the square root of x2 minus x1, which is 1 minus 11 squared, plus y2 minus y1, which is 3 minus 2 squared. Now remember again, as long as you pick one point to be your first point, and the other to be your second, then the x2 minus x1, it just follows whichever point you pick. It doesn't have to be a specific one, you just have to stick with that one the entire way through. Okay, so we've got square root. 1 minus 11 is 10 squared, plus 3 minus 2 is 1 squared. I have the square root. 10 squared is 100, plus 1 is the square root of 101. And there we go. Alright, so there's number 8, or number 7. Next up, number 8 is 8, 5, and 2, 2. Again, the point on my left is going to be my first point, so I'll label it x1, y1, and then the second point is x2, y2. My midpoint formula right here, x1 plus x2 is 8 plus 2 divided by 2. y1 plus y2 is 5 plus 2 divided by 2. You guys are going to know this so well, as long as you're watching the videos, and if you're not, you're in trouble. Trouble face. We all know what the mean face looks like. We don't want that. Alright, so 8 plus 2 divided by 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 divided by 2 is 7 over 2. So you can write it like this, or I'll also take 5, and that is 3.5. Okay, so I'll accept either one. Next up, distance formula. Woo! x2 minus x1 is 2 minus 8 squared plus y2 minus y1, which is 2 minus 5 squared. More here. It won't come on. Okay. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. So we have negative 6 squared plus 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared. A negative times a negative is a positive. So we've got 36 plus 9 is equal to the square root of 45. We'll do our factor tree. We have a factor tree of 9 times 5. And we have 3 and 3. Remember, since I have 2 3's, I can take one out. So my answer will be 3 square root of 5. Like that. Because I have a single 5 left, but I have 2 3's, so I can bring them out. Answer. Distance. Alright, so there's number 8. Next up, number 9 is 9, 7, and 6, 5. Right? Yes. Okay, so again, x1, y1, x2, y2. My midpoint formula right here, x1 plus x2, so 9 plus 6 divided by 2, and 7 plus 5 divided by 2. This gives me 15 halves and 12 halves. So I can write this as 15 halves, comma 6, and that is 2. I know it's funny like a 2, we don't worry about it. Or 7.5, comma 6. Again, either one for the midpoint. Alright, so distance formula. Square root sign, 6 minus 9 squared, plus 5 minus 7 squared. Got the square root. 6 minus 9 is negative 3 squared, plus 5 minus 7 is negative 2 squared. I have the square root of 9 plus 4 equals the square root of 13. Done. Alright, so there's number 9. One more. Okay, so 10 is negative 3, 5. And 2, negative 7. One of these days I'll learn how to write, I promise. Alright, so my first point on my left is going to be my first point, so x1, y1, x2, y2. Start with my midpoint formula. X1 plus x2 is negative 3 plus 2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 is 5 plus a negative 7 divided by 2. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So it's a negative 1/2. 5 plus a negative 7 is negative 2. So this is a negative 2 over 2, or negative 1/2, 1. And there we go. And that's our midpoint. Alright, last thing, distance formula. Here we go. X2 minus x1, so negative 2 minus a negative 3. Quantity squared. Remember, quantity squared. We're not just squaring this individual number. Plus negative 7 minus 5 quantity squared. Okay, so negative times a negative. This becomes 2 plus 3 quantity squared plus negative 12 quantity squared. So now I just add. So I've got 5 squared because 2 plus 3 is 5. And the total quantity squared, which is 25. Negative 12 times a negative 12 is a positive 144, which gives me the square root of 169. 169 is actually 13 squared exactly, so this answer is exactly 13. Okay? Good job. Alright, on to the next video. Go!